right, we are live. Okay, please put a 1 in the chat. And let me fix this just a little bit. There we go. That looks right there. Okay, let me check my settings real quick, guys. Mic check, mic check. Good deal. All right, settings look good. How is everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well. For anybody new to the channel, welcome. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover true crime, mystery to the missing. Today's video, I was playing around with the audio, so for anyone that may not know, there was leaked footage. Obviously, it was leaked out earlier this year. It's been out for quite a while. But I was just playing around with some things and just came across some interesting bits and pieces that I wanted to share with you guys. I think, in my opinion, you can hear what sounds like the DoorDash driver, along with some other things as well. So it's not just the DoorDash driver, and I'm still working on some other things because, when we listen to the audio, I'll kind of explain. I have to still filter and enhance a few things because you're working with a lot of background noise and stuff like that. So, but anyway, let's see. Let me check chat here. Let me get rid of this real quick. Unpin that. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to my wonderful members and my wonderful mods who do an amazing job. If you have any questions, Karen, D, and thank you, D, for the PayPal. You are so kind. Thank you so much. You are so awesome. All right. Just making sure. Okay, everybody can hear me good? All right. Before we get started, we always like to give back by featuring missing person posters, and then we'll get into the good stuff. But today's missing, we have Sean David Zorayo. 40 years old, white, brown eyes, brown hair, 6'2", so he's a tall guy, 200 pounds, got a bunch of tattoos. It looks like some are pictured here, one on his neck, one on, that would have hurt, one on his wrist and hand. Anyway, it looks like he was last seen in downtown Meridian, that is in Mississippi. Near Bonita Lake. He went missing on July 7th of this year. If you have any information, you can call 601-481-1975. And I think Karen Lee sent this in, so if you have any other questions or that you'd like to know about this case, I'm sure Karen may have some more information on this. Yeah, that's what I was... I didn't get a really good chance to look up his background because I had just got the email before I started the show. But yeah, he's part of Ryder Dive's cousin, the diver team. That's awesome what they do, and that's a shame that they got someone in the family missing. So hopefully they find him. Yeah, Chaos Divers, that's the name. Yeah, hopefully they find him. We've seen people go missing much longer and come back, so my prayers for the family. And we got one more. This was a special request. We do take special requests. You can email me. This one's Amber Arnett, 39 years old. She is 5'4", 150 pounds. She went missing in Lansing, Michigan. If you have any information, you can call 517-483-6679. She went missing in June of this year. And there she is. Make sure you guys can see that okay. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Sorry, my voice is cracking here. Truck driver's truck was parked in the middle of the major highway on the road. Kurt says we have 5 missing in my area. One truck driver's truck was parked in the middle of a major highway on the road. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, if there's anything I can do, Kurt, be more than happy to help in a future live show. All right, let's get going. Let me close this out and pull this up. So I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with the Idaho4 case. Not going to really go over the timeline or anything. Well, we are actually in a way, but for anybody that doesn't know Idaho4, we have a huge playlist on this channel. But 4 students were sadly, I can't use the M word, but their lives were sadly taken on November 13th of last year. It's just barely been over a year. The person that is alleged to be the killer is Bryan Kohberger, who is now awaiting trial. He was going to have a trial set for October this year, but that got pushed back. He was on track to have a speedy trial, but then they decided to waive the speedy trial shortly after discovery. Ronnie says, Chris, how do you enhance audio? If I get a chance, I can show you a few tips if you guys are curious to know. The program I use, there's many programs, but give me a second because it's on this side. But I use Audacity. Let me move this back. So this program here, Audacity, it's great. It's free. Plenty of updates. It can do just about anything. And I love it. I use it, obviously, just about every day when I'm doing a video. But anyway, but yeah, if we get time, because I'm trying to work on clearing up the audio even more, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. But so for anyone that has not seen this, this is was leaked footage from the Linda Lane area. And if you're wondering where that is, so here is Google Earth or Google Maps, and here is where the student's home was. There is. And Linda Lane, the camera is situated right here. There is actually 2 of them. There's one that's situated here that looks, so this is Taylor Avenue. There's one that kind of peers down this road here, and you can kind of barely see Taylor Avenue. But the one we're going to focus on is this one here, where the camera's kind of pointed towards this little parking lot. And of course, depending on where you stand, you can see suspect vehicle 1 or Bryan Kohberger driving around multiple times. Let's see, between, is that the one? I have my notes. So he's seen 5 times between 3:31 and last time at 4:07. Of course, we're not going to watch the entire thing, so we'd be here all night. But I cut up some certain clips of it, and what I did is obviously I downloaded the video, and then I split the audio up, and then I used the program Audacity. And then, like I said, if we get some time towards the end, maybe I can kind of show you what I did to kind of show you how you can enhance and take away certain things. Let me minimize this a little bit so you guys can see this better. So I'm not going to go too much over about how this was leaked. I do recall watching somebody's video where they discussed how it was kind of how this surfaced, but it sounds like 1 or 2 people had this footage for a while, and then they shared it with a third party, and then that third party ended up leaking it on like a blog or something. Don't quote me on that. It's something to that effect, but I know like 2 people had it and kind of kept it secret for a while, and then unfortunately I think they shared it with somebody, and then they eventually got leaked out. So there's 2 videos that got leaked out. So there's from between 3 and 4 a.m. and then between 4 and 5 a.m. And then obviously we believe the from the PC affidavit, the timeline, is that the homicides took place between approximately 4:08 to 4:20, depending on where you stand. I know some people believe it happened earlier. Even law enforcement, when they first announced everything and before the arrest of Bryan Kohberger, they said that that the timeline was between like 3 and 4 or something like that, but it's really, a little bit later than that. But anyway, so like I said, I took the audio out of this video, and then I went through and enhanced the audio, and then I plugged it back in. And we're going to start at 3:55, and we'll point out some interesting things that we can hear. So hopefully we've got, holy cow, we've got well over 400 people in here. Thank you guys so much for those taking the time to watch the show. Hopefully we've got some really good listeners. My hearing's not the best, so I'm sure there's probably some people in here that can probably pick out some things much better than I can. So we'll go ahead and get started. The video starts at 3:55, and I'll show you why we're starting here. That is really awesome. So throughout the 2 hours, you'll hear what sounds like an airplane. It's really most likely cars, because a lot of them, they kind of come in and out, like real close together. Because if it was an airplane flying over, it would just be one, kind of getting loud and then soft and then nothing. Whereas you kind of get this like back and forth. So to me, in my opinion, a lot of these are cars driving by. And after doing a lot of research on this, I figured out where, in my opinion, where I believe a lot of the sound is coming from. And I will show you guys towards the end of the video where I think, like, the sounds of the cars that we hear, the direction most likely that it's coming from. So before this, Kohberger, or the suspect vehicle 1, had already passed at 3:31 and at 3:39, and then it'd be 18 minutes until he, or the suspect vehicle, would pass for the third time, which is at 3:57, which we're going to see here. And I just want to point out something. And then, of course, we're going to get to the DoorDash driver, because I believe we can hear some details from the DoorDash driver. It may not be what you think, but the timing and everything adds up perfect. So I'm curious to show you guys. So yeah, what you're hearing, obviously, is a lot of ambient noise, and that's what I'm trying to clear up even more. I just didn't get a chance to, because when you start to reduce the noise, the ambient noise, you can completely take it out, but sometimes when you do that, you take important sounds out as well. So you have to kind of be delicate and slowly take away all that kind of fuzz noise that you're hearing. And it's kind of a grueling process, and I'm still working on it. But this would be allegedly Kohberger, or the suspect vehicle 1, passing for the third time. Notice we can hear the car really good. And now he would be behind this Queens Road apartment. And notice it's like he's gone. You can hear it real good when he's kind of passing by, and then nothing. So kind of shows you from where this camera is at what we're really able to hear. Yeah, white noise. Yeah. So anyway, that would be his third pass. Before that, suspect it took him 18 minutes, where usually he takes 8 minutes to do this drive around the neighborhood. But as you see what's coming up, so I'm going to pause it here so I can get to chat real quick. But as you can see, we're getting close to 4 a.m. We're going to hear some noises. And this is real important because, in my opinion, I think this is the DoorDash driver, which we're going to hear in just a minute. Dwayne's Prospecting Adventures gifted 5 mob crew memberships. That is so awesome. If you can, please, if you got gifted, please thank Dwayne. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for gifting the 5 mob crew memberships. You are so awesome. Okay. All right, we're going to continue. Notice it's 3:58 in the PC affidavit. They say that the DoorDash driver comes at approximately 4 a.m., which in my opinion is like almost on the dot. And I think there's a few details in here. Jeff, yeah, there's a lot of sounds. I don't know, because I don't want to go too long. I may have gotten that far. We'll see. I did, because I was trying to enhance a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to, because like I said, there's 2 hours worth of this, and obviously I want to be here for 2 hours, and I just want to get to this stuff that I could break down for right now. But yeah, there's a lot of sounds. How that almost sounds like an airplane, but I, in my opinion, I really think this is just a vehicle. But actually, what we're hearing is 2 vehicles, and like I said, I'll explain everything at the end more in depth on where I believe the sound is coming from, and we'll explain a little bit here. But what I think we just heard is, in my opinion, is suspect vehicle 1 going down Taylor Avenue. And just at the same time, we are hearing the DoorDash driver coming the other way. So one's going east and one's going west. So obviously one's leaving and one's coming. And that's what we just heard. And I'm going to play it over again and just kind of, and I'll show a visual. Thanks so much, Gilly. This is replaying it again. Notice that vehicle, I know it sounds like a plane, but we're going to have another sound come back to back, which tells me that's not an airplane, because we're going to hear that same kind of sound once again. But to me, it's slightly different. And so in my opinion, that was Kohberger leaving and going to go do another circle around the neighborhood, or suspect vehicle 1, wherever you stand. And this next sound is the DoorDash driver. Approaching from Taylor Avenue. hear that? So to me, in my opinion, and the timing is almost just perfect. Thinking, we heard that car about almost a minute prior to this sound of the honking, or excuse me, what sounds to be a door lock. When you're locking your car. To me, so it seems like that was the door driver. We heard it, and then we can't hear anything for a bit. So almost another minute goes by, just about a minute, a little bit less. Obviously, I don't think we can really hear anything over here except the beeping would make sense because it would probably echo through this alley here. And this is what I think we're hearing is. This is just, let me know what you guys think after you hear this. I think that's the DoorDash driver who just got out of the car, is hitting the lock on their car. So now I'm going to go back. So as you heard, that is within about 40 seconds, starting at 3:49 or 3:59 and 49 sec. Where is it? Yeah, 3:59 and 49 seconds. We hear a couple of horn, what sounds like somebody locking their door, which I would make sense because you're going to walk up and you're going to have to walk around to the back of the building. So your eyes are going to be off your car. I know I would probably be. I'm sure it's a habit for anybody, and I do that too. I always do 2 beeps. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in chat. I see some people say 2 beeps, but yeah, notice you'll hear 2 beeps, and then we're going to time it. So it's and I even have a video of the officer walking from the front to the back, and I timed it, and it's almost perfect. That's them locking the car as they're walking up to the back porch. Remember, all they're doing is dropping the food off. They're not talking. They may snap a picture, and then they're going right back to the car. I'm sure it's cold. They get paid to be fast. They're not there to chit chat. Here in just a second, we're going to hear another horn. I think that's them. So, and this is all speculation, of course. Now, I'm going to show you this in timed with the officers when they showed up, in August of last year, for a noise complaint. And I kind of started where I would think the DoorDash driver would had exited their vehicle and would have probably hit the button. And we're going to time it from the time we hear the beep, from the officer walking to and back, and it almost lines up. So here we go. Maybe locking the car. Dealt with DoorDash drivers, know that they're, and the 2 beeps as well. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Like I said, this is just theory. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going with what is, in the probable cause. They say approximately 4 a.m. As we can see, the time is 4, it starts at 3:59 and almost basically just a few 11 seconds before 4 a.m. And then they're out of there within 1 minute, which is really, that's all you're doing is getting out of the car. You're bringing a bag to. Now, for those I've explained who may not have dealt or used DoorDash before, basically you send in an order, you have an app, and Jack in the Box. So obviously they're open typically 24/7. I'm assuming since it's college town, a lot of people, especially on the weekends, when they leave the bar at 2 a.m. or whatever, 2 or 3, 2 a.m. And, probably want to get, just like the grub truck's kind of busy around that time. And so it makes sense people would probably be ordering some food. And anyway, so yeah, in my experience with DoorDash drivers, basically, and I think we've had some in chat explain, and corroborate that, yeah, they just, when they arrive, you can give special instructions. So when you're ordering in DoorDash, you can say like, there'll be like a special comment section, and like if you have a special request. So I'm assuming, with this case, they probably said, hey, put it in the back porch and not the front door. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would do. Assuming that's probably what they use more often than the front door. And so, yeah, you can leave them special instructions. And, yeah. And like I said, this is speculation. I don't know 100%, but the timing lines right up, especially with the beeps and everything. And like I said, DoorDash drivers, they're not going to be there that long. And I'm assuming it's pretty cold. So they're probably really in a hurry. DoorDashers don't mess around, especially at 4 a.m. Right. And yeah, they get paid, obviously, to be fast, because that's how they make their money, pretty much. But I'll play that one more time for you guys, and then I got plenty more, but I just wanted to show that little bit. But everything lines up. So if you're just coming in, I'll play it one more time. And then there's more sounds, obviously. Yeah, I was trying to find something that would be a good reenactment to walking up and walking back, and the time it would take. I'm sorry if that noise makes you nauseous. But clearly, so the one thing that we can deduce is we can tell that is the. Sorry, my neighbor just started up their very loud vehicle. It kind of scared me, because it picks up in my mic, so it's super loud. Anyway, or his motorcycle, excuse me. Anyway, we can tell that the horn, two beeps, they sound exactly the same. And as a matter of fact, we actually hear another car beep lock a little bit later, not too long later, and I even match them up, and they're definitely different. So let me know what you think. If you think differently, let me know. I know not everybody agrees on the way things went down that night. Myself, I think the PCA affidavit and the timelines and everything, considering how much surveillance footage they have, to me, it seems like they're going to have a complete timeline. I mean, down to the minute, just like in the Murdoch trial, where they're able to tell where his vehicle was. except we're going to have a lot more surveillance video. So we're going to see a lot of like up-to-date timeline stuff when it comes to the trial, in my opinion. Wow, we have almost 1,000 people in here. Holy cow. And then listen, so this is my theory for those that are joining me. When we hear a vehicle, because we hear a lot of them, which it sounds like an airplane really, but it is a vehicle. We hear them, and I think what we're hearing is the vehicles leaving on Taylor Avenue. And I'll explain more as we go on. But now just think, this person, we just got done, this person probably just got in their car. Let's see. So the last honk was, I think, they were walking up to their car at, what, 4 and 29 seconds? But they'll probably be getting in their car right about now. Start it up. Maybe check their order, see what their next order is. And then they would start to leave. They would go to Queen Road, King Road, and then Taylor Avenue. And look at that. We hear a vehicle. And I think a lot of the vehicle sounds that we hear are coming from that Taylor Ave area. And I'll explain more. Hey guys, watching from Ireland. Love the good work, Chris. Thank you so much, Bonnie. That was so sweet. We've had so many people. Oh my gosh, we are cracking it. Well over 1,000. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Go back 908 to hear clearing of throat. It changes as life goes on. 908. 908. I'm sorry, Ronnie. I'm missing. Not sure what you mean 908. We haven't gotten that far here. Sorry. Maybe if you can explain what you mean, Ronnie. I'm missing something. But if we can, we'll play through because I've got a lot more to show. And then if we can, we'll go back. I'm sorry if I'm missing what you mean. We don't know, KK. It may be another year. Okay. So next up is, and I'll recap, like I'll do a quick recap at the very end for those who kind of are just getting in here and may have missed. We'll do a recap of everything. So next thing coming up okay, so we have an unknown sound here. Almost sounds like the wind blowing up against the camera. I'm not 100% sure. So as we move on, okay, here we go, another car. And to me, that could be suspect vehicle 1 or Kohberger coming back down Taylor Avenue, and we're hearing that for just a minute because shortly in a minute we're going to see his vehicle for the 4th time. this is where he does the 3-point turn. Instead of going around, he actually does his little 3-point turn here. We've done some videos on that, trying to enhance that. Kind of interesting. I was able to kind of notice we can't hear the vehicle anymore. You would think you would still kind of hear like something kind of slowly fade out. It seems like with these two big apartments, the barriers really block a lot of sound that's coming from that direction. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for the $10. You are so awesome. Thank you so much. Neverwise, thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting this channel. You are so awesome. Junior Johnson, where are we hearing this from? We are... So if people are just coming in, we are, if you've never seen this, this is coming from this apartment, or I don't know if it's apartment, I think it's apartments, a complex here. It's next to, so obviously we have the Idaho4 students' home. Next to that is the Queen Road Apartments. And then next to that is what's called Linda Lane, and they have 2 cameras. The one we're looking at is this one that's kind of, it's got a camera pointing this way in this parking lot here. There's a little path that goes around Queen Road Apartments where the suspect vehicle apparently drove around a bunch of times, and that's what we're looking at. But we're really kind of more focused on what we can hear, because I enhanced the audio. I took the audio from the video, I enhanced it, and then I plugged it back in, and there's a bunch of different sounds that we can hear. And so that's what we're going through. Obviously, when the main thing I was going to show you is the DoorDash driver, which I just showed, but I will show again if you missed the first part. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. Let's see. Let me just grab these and we'll get going again. Or I'll keep playing away. Stacy, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. You are so sweet. And then, obviously, so just before Kohberger's car comes, or suspect vehicle 1, we hear another honk or car lock horn. And notice, because I was wondering, okay, well, could it just be the same car from what we heard earlier at 3:59? And watch, I play them back to back. And you can tell it's a different, and notice you only hear it once compared to the deet deet. To me, that's the DoorDash. And that's somebody else. I mean, it could have been even the suspect doing that. Actually, no, I don't know. It sounds more like you. So, this obviously is important because, according to the PC affidavit, this would be his final time he's seen on this camera, because now he would allegedly park, I would think, probably in the back, because then he could oversee, he's got a kind of a high advantage. And he's going to be able to see that back porch. And so in my opinion, this is maybe what's going on right now. not a lot, but there's a few sounds that you can hear. In my opinion, there's one thing, I think you can hear a dog barking. I'm almost 90% sure that somebody's dog. I don't know if it's Murphy, but you do hear a dog at some point. But it's weird because it does kind of get eerily quiet for a bit. So I'm going to kind of just go a little bit forward. I kind of marked where I actually hear something, and I put it up on screen so that way I can find it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip forward here. Obviously, this would be allegedly when the attacks are going down. 412, they mention Xana is on her TikTok at approximately 412. So this is like, he's probably just got finished, sadly, taking Maddie and Kaylee's life, and now working his way downstairs. And in my opinion, she was probably on her TikTok, on her phone, doing TikTok, and maybe, one of those two were the target, and he was just going to get out. But as he's going down the stairs, he sees a lady on the phone and probably thinks, she's trying to call 911, and she is now a threat. And that's just speculation, of course, but this is what's interesting. We hear something here. And this is the one time where you actually, what sounds like a car peeling out. Although we will hear a car at 420. It is interesting. We do hear out of the two, this one sounds like a car peeling out. Let me know what you guys think in chat. But I have a visual kind of showing. Now, they do say it supposedly happens from, 405 to 420. But I think it's a possibility that this could have ended sooner. But man, it sounds like a car peeling out. But it could be just somebody else. Oh, that's a good idea. After breaking this down and listening to this is I think what we're hearing is, at least when it comes to the vehicles and those like airplane sounds, which are vehicles obviously, is vehicles coming either direction from Taylor Ave and maybe even down Linda Lane right here. But that, I think that's what we're hearing is vehicles here. And we'll explain a little bit more as to why. But sadly, the text. Let let me know what you guys think. This is where I'm going to break this down even more. I'm playing with it now. I just didn't get a chance to show my final results, but this definitely sounds like a dog bark to me. Let me know what you guys think in chat. I'll play it a couple times. Kind of weird. It's either a thud or a bark. I'll play it one more time. I think what I need to do, now thinking about it, is slow that down a little bit, the audio down when I go to extract it, and that should give us a little bit better idea. Like I said, I was doing a lot with the DoorDash driver part that I didn't get a chance to really do a lot more that I wanted to do. But I'm going to break this down even more. But like I said, it takes a while. You guys think bark? It does sound like a bark. Now keep in mind, let me just show you guys what we have between the Idaho 4 student house and where the camera's at. We have a Queen Road Apartments. We got 2 buildings. I remember looking up the building. I forget how many. There's not many, but there's still like, oh gosh, there's like maybe like 80. That might be a little bit too big. I don't know, like maybe 60 apartments, 60, so 60 plus couples living there. Guaranteed they're going to have some dogs. Plus, you also have this building, because remember, the camera is sitting on this corner here, looking this way. So you also have this building here as well. So you have a lot of variables and other possible people that have a dog that we could be hearing. Yes, Jen Joe. It just takes. It can be done. The thing that's tough about when you have it so consistent, and remember, I'm not an expert when it comes to audio technician. I'm just a guy that's used, audio programs a lot. I just have, that, and just experience using it. But I'm certainly never did, schooling for it. But I can do it. It's just gonna take a bit because when you try to take out background noise, if you go too far, you end up taking important sounds out. So you have to kind of methodically do it, at least for me, because I'm sure there's experts that can probably do it a lot faster than I can. Thank you, Jeff. Yes, that's a football field away. Football field away, for sure. As a matter of fact, I showed that on my thing. some people kind of got that wrong, just because obviously it snowed not long after, and so there's a lot of footage that we see of the Idaho student home with snow, and they're there. But remember that when it originally happened, there was only like pockets of snow, like where the sun hadn't, obviously completely melted. So, and we have, so this is interesting. If that was Kohberger at 421 leaving, we have this gentleman or person that comes from, I believe, the Queen Road Apartments. It could be the Little Lane, and they get in their vehicle here. Which is kind of interesting timing. A minute after a random person leaves. That someone whispering, calling us. Anyway, that's kind of interesting that this guy or person, whoever is leaving, literally minutes or minute after the supposed suspect, Bryan Kohberger, wherever you stand, leaves, has no idea the terrible tragedy they are passing by just happened. Anyway, I'm going to show a few things, and then for those that may miss the first part, because I think it's very interesting, because in my opinion, I really think you can hear the DoorDash driver. From there, I know there's some other random sounds, and like I said, I'm going to work on this some more. But here's another thing why I believe a lot of the sounds that we're hearing, the airplane sounds I like to call them, just because they're faint driving. So we know this guy just left at 4:23, right? He's kind of hauling, or it's kind of heading out, going past the Queen Road Apartments. So he would be pulling out, be going, there's only one way out. So he'd be driving down here. Then he'd take a right on King Road and then Taylor Ave, and he'd probably go this way here. And so that may take about a minute, maybe a little bit less. And it's interesting because we'll get that airplane sound here in just a minute. So that's why I think a lot of the sounds that we hear throughout the entire video are coming from the northeast. So they'd be turning down King Road, now turning down Taylor Ave. If we were to do a circle from the middle of where the camera is, and then we expanded it out, before we'd ever reach the student's home, it would expand and hit Taylor Avenue. So that further supports my theory that a lot of the sounds, like the vehicle sounds we're hearing, in my opinion, are coming from the Taylor Avenue direction. And because it's obviously closer, and obviously the Linda Lane's kind of sitting up, and this Taylor Ave sitting a little bit lower, so the sounds wouldn't be as blocked as much. Whereas to the left, you've got the Queen Road Apartments, and then where the Idaho student home is, they're actually tucked down below. So as you can kind of see where the trees are at, they're down a level. So it would be really hard to actually hear, like, anything coming from that house. That's why it makes sense that this camera that's sitting over here had captured some, the dog barking and some thuds and whatnot, because, it's only sitting 50 feet away. And the two rooms that they hear the barking and the thud just happen to be on the northwest side. So I will replay the beginning for those that may have missed it, but let me know what you guys think, if you have any other theories or ideas. As far as the sounds, and like I said, I'm going to do more. I'm going to try to break that ambient noise, the white noise, whatever you want to call it, the humming noise. I'm going to try to bring that down some more and see if we can hear anything else in between these kind of important time frame, I guess I should say. So I'll recap what we just played, and I just want to say thank you guys. We almost have 1,500 people in here. That is so awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. It's free. Another good way to support is become a member or support me on my Patreon. We do more than just cover true crime. We actually help with cold cases as well. Right now it's winter time, so we're kind of hunkered down, but as soon as spring comes, we get back out on the road, and we also help with cold cases and missing persons. All right, so going back to the beginning, for those that may have missed it, we'll play a couple of things. So what I did is I took that Linda Lane footage, extracted it out from the audio, or extracted the audio out from the video, and then I ran some stuff, and I'll show you guys, for those who are wondering how I did it. I'll show a little demo of it right after I play this. But I noticed that there were some interesting sounds that you could hear right at just before 4 a.m. and just after. And to me, in my opinion, that is the DoorDash driver. Chris, do you have the tape with the thud noise? Oh, I might. I'm not sure if I might have. Because there's a lot with thuds. Okay, so let me explain. So now that you kind of saw the ending and where I think the sounds are coming from, we go to 357, where we know the suspect is going to be driving around a circle one time. So this is the suspect passing for the third time. Notice how you can hear the vehicle okay. And it quickly disappears. Now, in a little bit, we're going to hear two vehicles. And I think those two vehicles, one is the suspect, the other one is the DoorDash driver. And they're actually kind of passing each other at some point on Taylor Avenue. Hey Laura, good to see you. So glad to catch you live. Thanks, Ronnie. Right about here. hearing is me replaying that right now, and what I think is what we're hearing is Kohberger going to make his, or the suspect, making his 8-minute circle around the neighborhood on Taylor Ave, and what we're hearing is Taylor Ave, and just as he's passing or leaving, we have the DoorDash driver. About it, the DoorDash driver would obviously be down 39th Road, then approaching the Idaho student's house, would probably be parking about now, probably checking their phone, probably, I think they have to do something when they get there. I always notice they're on their phone just before they get out of the car. Hear something right here. Two feet. Third one. As if somebody's locking their car as they're leaving. And about 40 seconds later, we hear the same thing. So I reenacted that, taking some footage of when the officer arrived at the college student home, earlier in August. And I kind of just timed it, this is all just kind of approximate. And I figured, the car wasn't probably, especially if we know that their cars were all kind of parked here, so the DoorDash driver would have to park somewhere, just behind where this officer's standing. And so I just kind of timed it from the car, just before the car honked, thinking, they just exited the vehicle, they got the DoorDash bag, and an instinct, just like me, I'm starting to walk away from my car. I'm going to hit lock. It don't matter if I'm going to the store. And then one more press just for good measure. Drop off the food. They don't talk with anybody. They just drop it off. They'll take a picture, and then they're on their way back. Unlocking the car. Just to add a little bit more weight to this theory is we will hear a vehicle here in just a minute. said, I've still got a lot more. I know there's a lot of sounds. I know people have probably heard this video and probably even watched it or even the audio. I know there's a lot of sounds. I know there's sounds before 3 or before 4 a.m. To me, in my opinion, I think a lot of that sounds are just from the neighboring homes. Obviously, that's just my speculation, but I think, in my opinion, that lines up with everything. With the DoorDash driver, the PC saying it's at 4 a.m. Hey, Madeline, good to see you. Red Web, no alcohol sales after 2 a.m. So how many people would be driving around at 4 or 5 a.m. in that area? Well, you got to remember, this is college. This is a college area. It's very busy even at this time of night. But yeah, you would think there wouldn't be too many people at 4 a.m. Wayne says 350. Yeah, walking towards 1122, then comes back at 423 after the car speeds away. Yeah, we showed the 423. I don't know if I don't have 350 right now. I started at 357, so I can't show the 350. But right now I'm really working on just what the audio. So anyway, let me just show you guys if you're just kind of wondering. This isn't nothing huge. But this is kind of what I do for these videos. I'm showing my secret. So what I would do is I would take, obviously I already split the audio, so I already have the audio clip ready. So this is, I want the 4 to 5 a.m. one. Give me just a second, literally. Oh wait, no, that's not the right one. Import. Did I take that from? That one's from 3 to 4. Oh, I know. It's from this one here. I've got so much on Idaho. It is crazy. Here, I'll just show it with the other one. That way I'm not wasting a lot of time. So go back to this one. We'll just do this one. All right. So here we take the audio out from the video, and I'll just show you just a slight behind the scenes. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is between the 3 and 4 a.m. So the horn, like the little honk, would be right at the end here. Notice how tiny that is. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it. Wait, why can't I hear it? Is it because... Hold on. I don't know why. Can you guys hear that? I don't know why I can't hear that. Oh, okay. That's low. Okay, anyway, there it is. Alright, so what I would do is I'd run a thing. Oh, oops. I can expand this. So as you can see, there's not a lot of these little dips here where certain important sounds are at. Everything else in the middle is probably that white noise you hear. But first, before we do anything, we got to expand it. So I run a thing called filter curve, and that expands the highs and the lows. And I run that, so it's going to take a second. But I'll show you. This is going to grow really big here in just a second. Let me blow this up a little bit more for you guys. And we run one more thing. It's a compressor. It's more or less kind of the same thing, and you'll see how much it expands. And basically, it takes any audio clip, and yeah, you can take certain high decibels and certain low decibels, and tune them to your needs. So now you can see how much more fuller that is. Before you could barely see what was probably on my screen. Now you can see we've got this big audio clip. All the sounds. And then obviously all these bigger lines means there's, you know, noise. This is probably Kohberger or a suspect vehicle driving by. This is probably one kid driving by. Actually, that's just a car. But the issue is taking out all this background noise, which is the white noise you guys are hearing. That is something a little bit more trickier, which can be done, but has to be done, at least for me, very methodically, because if you take too much out, you end up taking a lot of the audio with you, and you may actually take out important stuff. So anyway, that's what I'm working on, is noise reduction. You have to do it methodically so you don't take out, those little thuds and stuff. But I am trying to get it to where, you don't hear all that white noise. I know it's kind of annoying. That's why I didn't show 2 hours worth of video, but there are sounds you can hear, and you'll notice this will get thinner here in just a second. Not to my liking though, because I still got to get it thinner. Still processing. Give me just a second, guys. Anyway, while this is processing, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you subscribe, see how much more thinner this just got. Much thinner, even though there's still a lot of ways to go. There's still a lot more white noise. But we can see all these little peaks that give us an idea of where there's interesting noises. Like this little peak here. Sounds like humming. Somebody slamming a door. A thud. To me, it sounds like two people getting out of the car. Anyway, but yeah, that's just a little bit of sneak peek of how I do it. But like I said, I'm going to work on it some more. Cami says, Banfield video, you can hear stop it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff where, people claim it's interesting. You get caught up in that stuff and you'll hear a lot of things. And then your mind may play tricks on you. Normalize, yeah. Yeah, that's another one you can run. And I'm sure there's probably in here probably know how to work this thing 10 times better than I do. But I have a lot of fun with it. And as I said, the main part of this show was just to kind of show the DoorDash thing. And then what the vehicle sounds, what we're hearing, and where I think they're coming from. And I really think a lot of that is coming from Taylor Avenue, considering it's closer than the Idaho student home and just the way the buildings, the surrounding area, because this is, you kind of got this Queen Road Apartments, which is kind of a big barrier here. But I think we can hear the beeps coming through, when the DoorDash, if that is the DoorDash driver, because, it's kind of like little car honks, and I think those would probably echo probably enough that you'd be able to hear it. I could be wrong, but it just certainly lines up with the timeline. So, um, Josh Saposh, was the audio of the thud noises ever confirmed to be genuine? Are you talking about the other audio that was released that was never? I don't know where that came from. The one that had like the disturbing screams. Is that what you guys? I think some of you guys are mentioning. I don't think if that. I'm not sure if that was ever verified to be authentic or not. Um, but whatever that was taken from, it is disturbing for sure. I ended up taking it down, even though I cut it up to where you didn't really hear the screams, just a few thuds. Um, it's weird. I'd almost say that may be genuine, but I don't know. Uh, Hey Alan, what about IGG? IGGG. You talking about OGG? IGG. I'm not sure what you mean, Alan. Sorry. IGG. Thank you so much, Professor Gain. Certainly no expert, but I do have the experience working with audio enough that I can play around with it and discover some interesting stuff. That's for sure. Boston, first time is car sound, then sound of car second time. Yeah, lots of kids there actually walk. Yeah, I mean, it's college town, so you're going to probably see a lot of people. I mean, just like the video where the kids running past. Yeah. But yeah, if you can, if you haven't, please hit that like button before you head out. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to spend some time watching the show. I am going to work more on this. Knowing Samantha, thank you so much for the $1.99. Geneva, thank you so much for your sweet comment. I wish I could get to everybody. There's so many people in here. Sorry, Jeff. What did I hear at 421? Or 2101. It's really deep, almost like the wind, almost. It's really, really deep, bassy, like a door shutting or something. Maybe somebody inside the house hitting a wall or something. Who knows? But yeah, there is something there. Miranda Lee, thanks to JR for bringing me to the Mob Crew. This is an amazing channel. Chris has a knack for this. Love everyone here. Thank you so much, Miranda. You are so sweet. Thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. That's so awesome. Of course, shout out to my wonderful mods. We had almost 1,400 people in here. Everybody was really awesome. Thank you. I know not everybody in here thinks, may not be on the same page when it comes to Bryan Kohberger, but it seems like everybody was very polite. So I really appreciate that. We're all adults. We can agree to disagree. May not agree on this case, but maybe the next case, our views align. Real Pocahontas, good to see you. We love you, Chris. Don't forget to treat yourself. Thank you so much. Slider. Oh, yeah, Slider. Yeah, that does sound like it. But yeah, I'm going to work on it some more, for sure. Happy holidays to everybody, of course, because it's about that time. Carrie Ann, Merry Christmas to you, Chris, and the mob crew. Thank you so much. And I'm missing Angie. Holy Hannah. I don't know why I can't find it, but there you are. Angie donated $50. That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Angie. Please show Angie some love in the chat. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you. I know not everybody could donate, especially around this time, but I do appreciate everybody being here. We will be back on tomorrow night, so please join us at gotta think of the time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So a little bit earlier than we did today. So, Jennifer Rochelle. Okay. Yes. And let's see. AKA Slith and Sandals. Better Fix It. Mob Crew. Right on. Thank you so much, Sandra. 13 months. That's so awesome. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out. It's kind of late, but we'll be back on tomorrow. Be safe, you guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Much love.